Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Thursday, the 14th of November. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right, okay. Let's have a look at ES. Now, I was expecting to see a retest of the high tomorrow, and we didn't see it yesterday or today, and we didn't see that yesterday. I'm thinking we'll probably see that today. However, what I would say is, while I think we are forming a bull flag, it may not have finished yet, and it may need another low. So could this be a head and shoulders forming here? Ugly. I don't think so, no. But I think this is probably a flag forming. I am wondering if we might see another move down to, let's say, 59.75 to finish that off. It has been reluctant to get off the 6,000 level. Right, on in Q. Did we actually lose this head and shoulders yesterday? Yes, we did. So this head and shoulders is dead, and it's got a target back up and a retest of the high. But again, the same thing applies. We're likely forming a bull flag. We could see another lower low within that bull flag. So we will see how that goes. All right, looking at RTY. RTY, 60-minute buy signal fixed, didn't reach the possible near miss target yesterday, and I think we're likely forming a bull flag there as well. Is there a possible alternative interpretation? Not a decent one, no. This could just about be a head and shoulders, but I really don't like these two highs together for it. And if we count this first high, then this would be the neckline going up here, which is a bit steep for head and shoulders. So I'm leaning against that not being a head and shoulders. YM. This could be a head and shoulders forming, but again, I think more likely it's a bull flag forming. But if it's a bull flag, we could see a move down into about the 43,650 area maybe, and I'm wondering if we might see that today. DAX and the STX, we had positive divergence on these yesterday. That has delivered overnight. We had a buy signal which was brewing, that fixed and made target overnight suddenly. And ESTX, we already had one fixed, and that's made target too. So we're out of positive divergence on the indices. Let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Right, looking at ES. ES, we've got this trend line here, which hasn't quite broken, but which is probably going to break. No current divergence, but obviously we could get some, although not the highest quality really, on a retest of this high. We will see how that goes. On the 15-minute chart, looks like a bull flag forming. Obviously, no current positive divergence, although we do have a bit on one index, I think, of that. No hourly, and we're not going to get an hourly sell signal on a retest of the high, but we could get, obviously, some daily. Looking at the Qs, Qs pulled back a bit. Not a great deal. This has been the strongest in the last few days. Hourly chart, not going to get any a decent hourly divergence on a retest. Not really going to. Well, we can get a bit of divergence on the Qs on a retest of the high on the daily chart, but not an awful lot, and I wouldn't have a lot of faith in it. May well be forming a bull flag. May well need another low within that bull flag, but we will see. Looking at Dire. Nice retrace. We could get a really decent looking potential RSI 5 sell signal, but it would be the only one that was really decent, I think, apart from IWM. But I'd really be looking for it on SPX or NDX, make it official, really. It's on the hourly chart, no divergence. 15-minute chart looks like a bull flag forming. Looks a bit more like a possible head and shoulders here. I could draw this as a head and shoulders, and if so, that would have a target down at about the 434 and change area. This would be the retest of the high here, which wouldn't quite have failed, so that would still be open. All right, let's have a look at IWM. Looking at the daily chart, nice retracement here. We get a really nice RSI 14 and RSI 5 divergence here. I don't tend to watch the RSI 14 one much, and that's because this one here, we've actually still got an RSI 14 sell signal that never made target. So these don't tend to make it with the reliability of the RSI 5 ones. So the RSI 5 one I would be watching carefully. This has seen the largest retracement and is actually about halfway back to the data middle band, which I've got at 226 to 228. Looking at the hourly chart, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed. We had an RSI 512. RSI 51 made target yesterday. These do tend to be reliable signals, and this is one reason I'm thinking we may go a bit lower today. To make target on this one too. On the 15-minute chart, we've got a possible head and shoulders here, which is broken down. If so, it's got a target in about the 231 area. We will see. On DAX, we've seen a decent move up overnight after a lot of weakness the last few days. And Nikkei, hang on. Nikkei still could be a head and shoulders, but I really don't think it is. I think this is just passing the time really till we probably see a break up into a retest of 42.4 over the Christmas period. All right, great. Let's have a quick look at questions. I think we might have one. What are the chances that the bottom is on metals? Let's have a look at that. But actually, it's possible now. DX, we've got a nice 60-minute sell signal which survived the last move up, which actually made some significant progress on a few things. Metals notably above them, among them. ZB, still wondering where my rally is. This could be a double bottom forming, but probably need a little lower to make a decent one. CL, the buy signal has now reached the possible near miss target. I'm wondering whether it's going to reverse down to this target in the 66.5 to 66.75 area. And I think it probably will. I've still got an open target down to a retest of 63.57. NG, could be a double top forming here. I was noting on the bigger picture webinar last night that we'd broken up over this declining resistance and back tested it beautifully. But this could still be a double top. If not, this could actually go considerably higher. One thing I would note is in a week or so, or a week or two, we're going to be rolling into the January contract, which will have another 0.3, 30 cents uplift, which is the last one of the winter. Obviously, depending on where this is at that point, that could take us up into new highs in the same way that the last 50-cent uplift took us considerably higher as well, and through my trend line. GC, we've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed here, and that has continued going lower. This, I think, has made all the daily RSI 14 sell signal possible near miss target pretty close to the full target. This could be a low. And I would say we've got a lot of positive divergence here. SI, 60-minute buy signal reached the possible near miss target, but we extended lower. We've got a new trend line resistance here up at 31. We could see a big rally here, and we could potentially see a large reversal on US dollar here as well. And that could really help it along. 60-minute buy signal is fixed overnight on HG. Do I have an obvious pattern here? I was saying if it went lower, we might get one. Not quite. No, actually, we do. No, we don't. Not quite. We'd need to go down a little more to get that. But nonetheless, this could turn here. Not a really strong setup for a return, but there is a decent setup for a reversal back up here on metals and for a reversal down on the US dollar. All right, looking at KC. KC has gone higher, retested this high and continued. I'm thinking this may well head straight back into the 80s. I've got a nice support trend line on the daily, which I'm watching. SB, I don't have a decent support trend line here, or at least I didn't last night, and I don't think I've got one now either. Do we have one now? We don't. But I think nonetheless, for several weeks now, this has been forming what looks an awful lot like a bull flag, and I think it probably is. We've got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing, and that's trying to fix at the moment. CC, possible 60-minute sell signal brewing here. I'm liking the upside here, and I've got further targets higher above, and I think this could run considerably further. ZW could have a low forming here. No current positive divergence. I think we're waiting for grains to find a short-term low. Haven't necessarily reached that on corn either. On soy, we need to find a near-term low here if we're going to keep this double bottom target open. I've got that in the 105.6.5 area to about 105.9, and if we go much lower, I'll be wondering about a retest of these lows. If the dollar turns, that will help these two. CT, keeping an open mind, but the nice looking double bottom we did have has gone. Lumber, possible 60-minute sell signal brewing, and of course we've still got one fixed from here, which never made the full target. grinding higher at the moment. Nothing really compelling saying it's going to reverse, and no reversal pattern at the moment. Live cattle holding the weekly pivot as resistance at the moment. No current divergence. Looks like a bull flag forming. Lean hogs, maybe a bull flag forming as well. If so, we may have another leg down within it. Either that, or if we can hold the monthly pivot at 80.55, then we can go back up and directly retest the high. All right. Let's have a look. Hang on, wait a second. Right. So on ES, still leaning towards seeing a retest of the high. I think bull flags are forming. We may see a slightly lower low before we see that high retest, but I think it is coming. There's nothing really here to suggest we would see a larger retracement than that. If we do, weekly pivot, the weekly pivot target at 59.30 would be an obvious target, but I've got nothing really suggesting it's going to get that low. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap, guys. No more questions. My pleasure as always, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.